legends are inside all of us, waiting to be born.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to main event here. May week 3, we are rolling right ahead here into Payback. We're going to take a look at the Raw recap. But before that, we have a very special guest here on the broadcast team with us tonight. Judge, take it away for us.
Hey guys, it's a pleasure to be here. It's always a pleasure whenever you're able to, get back kind of to the roots and just be able to come out here and appreciate, the matches and the show maybe closer to almost a spectator instead of watching it from the back. And I'm excited to be out here ringside tonight to help us call these matches.
So then we saw Raw opened up. This is Raw is Nice as part of Judge's Management Mayhem that's still continuing here. We saw Jimmy John take the loss there to Blade Wyatt here. Judge, this was your match. Let's talk a little bit about the controversy that ensued here. It looked like you and S&C really went at it in this match.
Oh man, well, just first of all, it was just a pleasure to get back in the ring there, and it's always, Aether is one of those people who I've been wanting to get in with for a long time, and I'm actually happy Sean was one of the few people who put me in a match this month. You never know what's going to happen with Management Mayhem, but man, it was just a pleasure, and yeah, things got heated there, and I'm eager to see how S&C is going to respond. But you never know how that thing's going to come out. Obviously, we didn't get the win, but it was just a great match, and hopefully the fans enjoyed it.
Right, you went from fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship a week before that to this. Some people, myself included, thought we were going to see you and McNasty going to get into it again. It was pretty intimidating. And look at this. Who would have thought Mizasa Hojo would have answered Ryan Azrael's open challenge on Raw? What a match that was.
Those open challenges, Azrael has stepped up, and he's called, he's made the hardcore title his own, but there's one person he hasn't answered the call to, and that's, as we're seeing right there, Ed Gucci. But, payback's coming, and he's going to have to step up and prove that he really is a hardcore champion, and prove that title deserves to be around his waist.
I have to ask you for experience, Judge. Speaking of Ed Gucci and Ryan Azrael, just like overflowing feud here, going show back and forth here. Now, do you think that Ed Gucci could be the answer to Ryan Azrael? We've seen like everybody. I mean, Dashing Nasty, Blade Wyatt came back and fought him. You know, Mizasa Hojo here.
You know,
S&D fought him. I mean,
since Ed came on the scene, you know, he's been explosive, and he's got his eyes set on that title. And I think when someone as young and as motivated as Ed Gucci is, that when they come in and they got their eyes set and they want something, they're going to go out there and get it, and they're not going to back down until they get it. And Payback might be where it all comes to head.
Right, you know, and we still got several matches we've yet to announce for Payback. You know, main events yet to announce here.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about, other than Tag Team Championship, the other championship matches that are going to happen. You got to say, Ed Gucci, he had Mike Giacchino pinning that six-man tag. BTD came in, and the match got thrown out as a result of the interference there.
And you know, you never know what's going to happen. It's not really something you want to happen. It's not really something you should always expect as a competitor out here. But, you know, it is something that to name the game sometime. And we got boys back there who are wanting blood and who wanting to make a name for themselves. And a lot of times, it's fun to just go with the flow and let it ride and see how people will react.
Right. Speaking of blood, I mean, Mizasa Hojo definitely got Sean Nice's blood on his hands again there, as you saw in their matchup after Gambit came back and got the victory over Sean Nice there. They had quite a feud back in year one. And then here we see Tyson Black was trying to get a cheap shot in there on Kyle Parks again. Kyle Parks put him away very impressively in that matchup.
And I have nothing but great things to say about Kyle Parks. You know, that you know, I gave McLaughlin the chance to be that, you know, GM for that night, and he proved why he's the type of person he is. You know, I wasn't expecting to be in that type of match, especially being the third person in, and I can't take anything away from Kyle Parks. You know, I'm not going to go out there and say I half-assed it. You know, that's never the judge. It's never what I'm about. And, you know, I went out there and I gave it my all. And Kyle Parks proved why he is the ECW World Heavyweight Champion.
Absolutely, he's beating the best of the best. I mean, he's beating everybody that's put in front of him. Championships on the line, you name it. I mean, he is really proving why he is at the top of this company right now. And speaking of main event, that's where we are tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at this absolutely exciting card we have in front of us here. Now, last week, if you were watching main event, you heard the judge's announcement live at the top of the hour, where he announced the six-man battle royal to determine next Raw Management Mayhem GM.
Yes, main event tonight. We got 6 competitors. We got 6 people out there who are really wanting it. You know, we got anywhere from Mizasa Hojo to, you know, my nephew, Reed Jones. He could throw some interesting matches out there. Aether, you know, you got the Leviathan himself who could put an interesting show on. You know, the possibilities out there are endless at this point, you know, and I'm excited to see that Battle Royal play out.
Absolutely. And look at this. This is a very interesting series of matches here, too. As we all know, Blade Wyatt and Jimmy John, the newfound American Outlaws, will be the first challengers to the reign of the Atomsk Galaxy at Payback that has been announced. In an opening matchup here tonight, Blade Wyatt takes on Tiger Baraki, and Tiger Baraki has been on quite a roll himself, even in singles competition.
He has. And let me tell you, the fans in the ECW universe, and even me, I can't lie, I'm a fan of the Big Bang and the Atomsk Galaxy, and I love what them boys are doing. But Blade and Jimmy John, they're an interesting pair as far as tag teams go, to say the least. I would have never thought that these guys would have found their way to each other and teamed up, but they're wanting to make a name for themselves, and I think they can do it.
You know, I gotta say too, because we haven't really seen it from them before, from either of them actually. But I think the tag team might be the answer for these two. They have a common goal there in mind, and you know, both of them are underdogs by nature.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's what it's all about: being hungry for it and wanting it and going after it, and that's what we're all about here in ECW.
Yeah, definitely. Blade Wyatt, he has come back more hungry than ever. His first match back went straight at Ryan Azrael, and you know, despite the beating that Blade Wyatt took on SmackDown, he put up one hell of a fight himself. Yeah. You can't take anything away from him.
It might not have been the smartest decision that the man's ever made, but you know, you got to give him credit for putting himself out there, and he took a beating, and sometimes you got to take a beating in order to be able to give a beating, and I believe that he took a good enough one that night that he knows what he needs to do to get back up there.
Hey, he even went on to fight Ed Gucci the next week on the
Absolutely.
I mean, and I have to give it to him. I don't want to say I doubted these kids, but I kind of thought that maybe the returning Terry Law and Dashing Nasty Bones would end up being the #1 contenders here. But Blade Wyatt picked up the pin in that tag team match.
Yes, and they proved they wanted more. Terry Law, I was been expecting a lot more out of him, but things have stalled, and can't always get who you want and what you need, and it's the business. And so we'll see if he decides to stick around. His contract's coming up here soon. I signed him in a short contract. But, we'll see if he decides to stick around and see if he really gets hungry for it.
It's definitely an interesting conversation piece. I've had a lot of people send me tweets and direct messages talking about Terry Law. He was really hot when he came back. A lot of fans wanted to see him back. They were sad to see him go from NXT when he went.
Yes.
And he said it's just kind of stalled. And, you say it every time, Judge. You say it all the time. This has been the message for year 2. Go-getters.
Absolutely.
Go-getters are getting it. You called Shawn Nice a go-getter at the top of this year.
Absolutely.
Shawn Nice has been in how many title matches now?
Oh man, he's put himself out there, and he might not have always came out on top, but he's always put on a hell of a show, and he's never slowed down. One obstacle gets in the way, he finds a way to overcome it and move on to the next one. And there's big things for him in the future.
I definitely think he's cemented himself in the main event scene of the contenders.
Absolutely.
Speaking of contenders, this kid, Tiger Baraki, right here. Tiger Baraki, first match ever in ECW, came out and defeated one of the tag team champions, 1, 2, 3, and he's just been on fire since.
Absolutely. I think he caught AJ Hawkx and his partner Riddlin off guard a little bit there, but he proved. Him and Aether's
Aster.
brother, Aster, make a hell of a tag team, but he proved that he can get it done in singles competition, so I'm excited to see how both these men do in single competitions here tonight.
All right, what do you think about him, Blade Wyatt, going for the tie-up here early? You think that's a smart move? I would think that Tiger's a little bit more technical in the grappling game here.
I think when you look at these guys, even just their stature and how they present themselves, you obviously picture Tiger as more of a, obviously he's got the MMA background, so I mean that's kind of his forte, and that's where he wants to be. And you think of this Blade as kind of more of an all-out powerhouse. You got to be thinking he just wants to get one good shot in.
Absolutely, he's got that knockout power. We've seen it on Raw. We've seen him, that Superman punch. He really favors it.
Yes.
Tiger's a little bit of power there.
Yeah.
I would think he would have picked up the bigger man that way.
You can't always judge these guys by how they look, man. These guys train 24/7, day and night. They're on the road. When we come in town, a lot of these guys are going straight to the gym. You can't knock them just by their looks. These guys will surprise you every time.
Right. And I have to say, I keep talking about Tiger Baraki here. Obviously, I'm a fan of the guy. Him on Raw in that 6-man tag, the punishment he took in that 6-man tag, he was a bloody mess. I'm surprised he didn't have to have more stitches.
Well, as I said, you got to be able to take it in order to dish it out. You're not always going to be on the delivering end of all these blows, and you got to know how to take it. And sometimes you're going to get busted open, and at any given night, especially with Mayhem months going on, these matches can go crazy. You can have any type of match that these guys got to be ready for. Right. Not holding back any stops here. I've fully given these guys control of the GM position, and I'm eager to see what continues throughout the month.
Tiger looks like he's got the upper hand here early.
Love the high flyers.
Look at this. Oh, he paid for that one. Let's see if Blade can get back on the horse here. Oh, no, he got caught with a kick. Okay, there's a nice reversal from Blade Wyatt, trying to get some momentum back.
I feel like he's really stepped his game up a little bit, too. When Blade first appeared on the scene, he was really a one-horse show on. It seemed like he's kind of, added some more moves to his set.
Well, I'll give a quick shout-out here to kind of one of the things that, Detroit, he's a wisecracker there on SmackDown.
Absolutely.
But, he made a good point, and it might have rubbed Blade the wrong way, but he kind of was telling the truth a little bit when he said, he didn't even know who Blade Wyatt was when he came back for this match because, he was completely forgettable back then.
He was, and, you hate to think about that, but that sometimes that gives guys the motivation to come back even stronger, you know, and to really make a name for themselves. And I feel like he's trying to do that, and come payback, you know, you never know what could happen.
Yeah, I've got to say, I mean, the old Blade Wyatt and the Blade Wyatt now. Wait a sec. Oh, wow, that looks like that hurt. The Blade Wyatt of the past, I don't remember that guy even talking about championships. I didn't even know why he was really here, I'll be honest, but I mean, he came in, went for a title, went for another title, and now he's getting his shot, you know.
Oh, man. Here,
look at the power.
I was going to say, here's this power I was talking about.
Look at this. Oh, that's going to hurt. And Blade Wyatt's taking control here, but Tiger...
Quick to reverse, and that's what, you know, I've noticed about this kid, you know, watching some of his matches, you know.
Oh, here's his specialty right here, the submissions, and particularly stretching those arms out. You know, he does have a really nasty cross arm bar.
And that takes some strength to do, let me tell you. That's not an easy thing to let happen. You know, to be able to pick that guy up like that.
Oh, Blade looking for a super
Another
kick
reversal there.
Look at this. Nice German suplex.
For the pin.
Nope.
Oh, quick.
That's the heart of Blade Wyatt right there.
And look at that, you know, he's
trying to get fired up here, but Tiger is just not giving him any kind of a break.
I tell you, man, the strength of that kid, you know, sometimes big things come in small packages, but the thing is, Tiger is really not even that small. It's just compared to the stature of Blade Wyatt, you know.
Absolutely. You know, and in the past, we haven't really seen Tiger.
There's the strength right there. Wow. Wow.
Wow, that was a nice Samoan drop. I don't even know what to say about that. We've seen him use that in the past. Look at this.
But slows down Tiger Baraki does not, and that was the answer of his own. Big knee.
The Blade's definitely going to have to stay on top of this guy and keep him, like you said, slowed down somehow.
Yes.
That really took it out of him. That knee hurt him. Yeah, I think Blade might be running on fumes here. This match seems like it's just begun.
You know, you got to think that someone like Tiger, with that MMA background, training nonstop, you probably think he's more conditioned than Blade, but you never know. I mean, like I said, these guys train.
Oh, wait a second! Oh, over the top with the shoulder block.
On that he can jump.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a little bit of credit here. Blade Wyatt, I think there's a little bit of hidden potential in this guy.
You know, absolutely, and I think there's hidden potential in everybody. You know that we bring in here to ECW, but do they always find it? You know, no, and that's the hard truth of the matter is, will he find it? I can't, say yes or no right now. Oh man, that's a big shot on the rope.
He almost landed on our laps there with that one. Ooh. Tiger's getting fired up. He's looking for something big.
Oh, here we go. I love this type of stuff. What are we doing here? I'm all about the high
flying moves. I think he's looking at you for this one, Judge.
You know, and that's what this kid's all about.
Look at this.
People in there.
Oh!
Oh God.
I think I felt the table move. What a dive. Right here in front of him. Here they go.
And now we're brawling, and that's what I like to see.
Hey, Blade Wyatt's been talking a lot about payback since getting this title match, and I think he's got to impress you here tonight, Judge.
You know, if nothing else, Blade Wyatt has been very vocal about, himself and what he wants here in the company. I'm
going to say, I'm a little surprised that the champions haven't really responded to him much.
Yes.
Tiger had a little bit to say about before this match to him, but we haven't heard a lot from Aster recently, and even Aether's been a little quiet. I wonder if McNastybones has him worried about what's to come. They're supposed to be facing off in a Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, here we go again.
And,
that's the price you pay there, little Nature Boy-esque.
Yeah.
You're not always going to hit him. And here we,
And that's on the outside of the ring. That definitely did some damage.
These pads are out here, but, it doesn't always take it all. And there's, once again, Blade Wyatt just all out brawling at this point.
Yeah, he's swinging for the fences, as they say. I think he's definitely looking for that one big punch to finish this fight off. He's got it in him. Tiger knows he's going to have to be careful.
Oh, and there it is again.
No, there's the power again.
The shoulder blocks.
Look at this.
Uh-oh.
There comes some of that MMA. That was a nice kick. Another nice kick. Tiger's getting fired up here. He's looking for a comeback. And you've seen his neck breaker out of your repertoire like that before, Judge. Everybody's performing at the top level here when they know the boss is setting ringside. Look at this.
And here we
Oh, and he put away multiple people with that kick.
You know, that
he won his debut match. Oh, here he comes. Blade Wyatt is in the danger zone.
Is he done?
Oh,
he's not done. You know, that's that no-quit attitude from Blade Wyatt, you know.
Wait, look at this. He throws him right back out in front of us again.
That is impressive, to say the least. You know, most people would have counted him out after that kick to the head, and that's a good surprise there.
I gotta say, that's good ring awareness too. A lot of people may not understand why Blade. They might think he's just brawling here, but he knew he was in trouble.
Absolutely.
He took the fight to the outside to slow it down.
Yes.
Now, I mean, getting thrown into the ring stuff may not have helped him very much there. But wait, what was this? Oh, he missed!
Oh, that's just smart move. I mean, see, the Blade Wyatt of old, I feel like, wouldn't have had that presence of mind.
He saw the guys coming.
He saw it coming a mile away. He knew his opponent's steps before his opponent did.
Oh.
Big kicks there by Tiger, though.
Tiger's getting the crowd behind him here.
He's riled up. He wants everybody behind the Atomsk Galaxy and him.
You know, I heard that for Payback we might have a new Tiger Baraki shirt going on the shop.
You know, we've had talks, and I'm eager to see, you know, the designs that coming up with here. I always love to get new merchandise out for, you know, our people who the fans really support.
So they're gonna brawl on the other side of the ring now. You know, when we get this close to pay-per-views, these matches, the intensity just goes.
Absolutely, everything you know, around ECW, you know, gets a little more. The people get, you know, our superstars get a little bit more vocal. The crowd gets a little bit more into it. Everybody wants to know what's going to happen at these pay-per-views.
Yeah, you were talking. Not to get off topic here, you're talking about the merchandise. I heard that we're actually going to see a new line of merchandise rolling out for Payback. Oh, wait a second.
Oh,
he missed the Superman.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of our ECW superstars here are going to have a lot of new merch coming out around SummerSlam.
Wait a second. Oh,
and there it is. Oh man.
Wait.
He's done.
He locked in the armbar like that.
You know, that's just.
Wow.
You know, that's all he could do. Take nothing away from Blade Wyatt from that one. There's not too many people who aren't going to tap from that, especially after the hell of a match these two put on.
Right. You've seen from the very beginning, Tiger was working the arm. He started working the arm early in the match, and here it is.
And you got to think that if Blade would have hit that Superman punch, that
probably would have been it.
That it would have been it.
Not to take anything away from Tiger. He's a great champion.
Absolutely not.
Wow. Yeah, as you're saying, yeah, Payback, I've heard, you know, we might see new Sean Nice merchandise, Aether merchandise.
Yeah.
You know,
Aether is one of our big sellers, the Big Bang. Everybody loves their AJ Hawkx shirts, you know.
Yeah.
Even our talking business here. I hate that they're always talk business, but even our Leviathan merchandise has been going up since, you know, these open challenges have been going through. Everybody loves the bad guy every once in a while, you know.
Right. Well, see, Tiger Baraki fired the first shot there in this tag team championship feud that we're going to see culminate at Payback.
You know, and you got to think that if Aster gets this win over Jimmy John, that, you know, they're just going to boost him up and make him really.
I think, you know, it might have a converse effect as well. I think it might make the challengers want to step their game up a little more.
Absolutely, yes.
You know, to get a taste of, you know, what the tag team champions are capable of. I think a lot of people underestimate the Atomsk Galaxy.
Oh, without a question, without a doubt, that, you know, Aether, as much as he was, you know, loved and adored by the fans in year one, you got to think that in most of the year, he was the underdog going into most of those matches that he participated in.
Absolutely.
And now bringing in, you know, his brother and Tiger, you know, these guys, no one expected them to beat AJ.
I don't think anybody, yeah, especially, you know, I think a lot of people looked at them and said, these kids are biting off more than they can chew.
And, you know, you hate to take anything away from them boys from winning it, but there's obviously a breakdown there between AJ and his partner Ritlin, you know.
Well, I mean, there was a breakdown in the Extinction event, totally.
Yes.
We still, you know, we've only heard little bits and pieces of the story from AJ Hawkx. I mean, he took RH Scarecrow out of the Extreme Rules.
Yes, he did.
And Ritalin. I mean, he just wiped them both off the ECW grid, you know. You know, Jimmy
And
John.
for as vocal as AJ usually is, especially as he's been in the past here lately, he's kind of been quiet, and that's kind of scary to think about when you think about AJ Hawkx being quiet.
Yeah, a lot of people have always, after the McNasty Bones feud that lasted for so long last year, some people question the sanity of AJ Hawkx. I think he's at a breaking point right now. He just came off that big loss to Shawn Nice last week, and you never know. AJ, he seems very upset recently in comments that people have heard him making around the, backstage in the scene about being on the pre-show at Payback. I mean, people are wondering, what's left for AJ Hawkx.
Well, once again, hate to talk at it like a business, but we got a lot of big things going on here at Payback, and there's a lot of things that I can really say right now because I don't want to spoil all these matches ahead of time, but sometimes there's a reason that are bigger names, and AJ is absolutely a bigger name. Sometimes there's a reason that they're lower on the match card sometimes,
Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of a concern for SMT following from a main event match on Extreme Rules to the pre-show and Payback as well. There's still despite his alignment in Nasty Bones, he still has a little bit of a following, and it's definitely generated some concern there too. But hey,
and these men are tying up to start off the match.
Jimmy John is always an exciting guy to watch. You never know what's going to come when he's in the ring.
He's one of those guys that, the thing I like about Jimmy John, and I like it, some people might not like it, Jimmy John's out there to wrestle, to win his matches. He's not always the most vocal person.
Absolutely not.
And this guy can wrestle, and he can go weeks and weeks and not say a word. And then the next day, he might just break off and go off. You never know about the guy.
And that's the same thing about Aster here. I mean, but when he speaks, people listen.
Exactly.
Obviously the Atomsk Galaxy Aether, you could call the mouthpiece. He's the most vocal.
Yes, absolutely.
But I've always said that Aster here is the powerhouse. I mean, this guy, he's a small guy, but he is an explosive guy when he's in that ring.
Absolutely, and no one in their group, faction, brotherhood, whatever you want to call them, none of them guys are necessarily big, but you can't take anything away from them. Look at them just manhandling Jimmy John.
I know, they all bring something unique to the table. That's what makes them all exciting. They're three lovable guys, but they're all unique in their own right. And Jimmy John
with it.
I think he's trying to manhandle Aster here. Wait a second.
Reverse.
Snap belly suplex. After giving him a little what for there, mouthing him. Oh, wow, that's a deep body shot to the ribs. Two people who are watching this match very closely, Blade Wyatt and Tiger Baraki.
Absolutely, and they're both, rooting on their respective partners here. And you got to think that, like I said, there's gonna be a shift in momentum at some point, depending on who wins this match, I think.
Yeah, this is definitely going to set a very interesting table for Payback here. Jimmy John, I thought he was going to turn the momentum around there for a second.
Jimmy John just really doesn't seem like he's been able to get going in this match yet.
It's been brought up before. I do wonder how he is doing since that really crushing loss to Shawn Nice at Extreme Rules. A lot of people were really rooting for Jimmy John in that match.
They were, and I hate to say it like this, but Shawn made a point to sit out and do certain things, and he's been doing it.
Well, and I'm going to say, wait a second. We've seen this before.
Big move here by.
Look at this, Judge. That's it. That's got to be it. 1,
there it is.
2. No! And look at Aster's face. He can't believe it.
I can't believe it. I saw the ref put his hand down.
That's the will of Jimmy John right there. That's why he's a fighter. Look, he's just shrugging these punches off as he gets to his feet. Wow.
And you gotta think that was just.
Oh, wait a second.
You gotta think that was just instinct here.
Handspring, and there's Atomsk cutter. That's it. Now that's gotta be all.
It. You gotta think Jimmy was just going off instinct, kicking out there. Just.
Yeah, he definitely is out now. That reverse 450, that should have been it.
And that's gotta be it, and it is.
Wow, what a win for Aster.
I'm saying, they're the Big Bang, all of them. Everybody usually associates Aether as being the Big Bang, but this is a movement. You know, this is just isn't one person. This is a group. This is 3 people, you know, making their marks. And Jimmy John just never got going in that match.
Aether, you know, and he said when he united these 3, and himself included in that 3, that he was resetting the universe.
And you've got to think that he's been doing it, and you know, and he might be doing it slower than some people maybe want. You know, everybody loves Aether, and everybody wants. And here we go.
Show of respect. Oh no! Disrespect the champion. That's unlike Jimmy John. He's really unhappy about his performance here tonight.
Maybe that too, and you got to think maybe new partner might mean, you know, new attitude. You never know.
Definitely. We've said this before. Blade White's very vocal.
Yes. And this is what I'm ready for. This is the one. I am excited to see who wins this match. You know, you got 6 people here, and with each one, you have 6 different Raws next week.
Absolutely. And, you know, for the nostalgia factor there as well, we've got, you know, look at the rivalries that this encompasses. We've got Ed Gucci and Ryan Azrael, who are at each other's throats right now. AJ Hawkx has had issues with Reed Jones recently. AJ Hawkx has had issues with Ryan Azrael.
Yes,
I mean, Aether and Hojo.
I think everybody just about got a bone to pick with, you know, the Leviathan. You know,
absolutely. Look, Reed Jones coming out first here tonight,
and he is hyped up, and I don't know why he wouldn't be. You know,
we haven't seen him since Extreme Rules. He had that disappointing loss on the pre-show, but he always comes out in high spirits, looking for something big in each of his matches. You know, I get a lot of questions from a lot of people around the wrestling world that ask when Reed's going to be a world heavyweight champion. And I just say, you know, this kid's constantly learning. Every time you see a hole in his game, he's plugging.
That's what it's all about. You know, you make yourself better. You know, you move forward. Like you said, you find a mistake, you fix it, you correct, you overcorrect, you know, you 180 your game if you have to. Whatever you got to do to keep pushing yourself forward to the next level. And, you know, I would love to see him at a World Heavyweight, ECW World Heavyweight Championship level someday. But is he there yet? No, and I would never lie to him and tell him that. But, you know, I think he'll get there? Absolutely, because he's one of the hardest workers I've ever seen in this business.
Well, you know, I always say, especially the top 5 rankings for that title are deep waters filled with sharks.
Yes.
And you wouldn't throw a young kid into a pool full of sharks.
But, you know, if he wins this Royal Rumble match, or if he wins this over the top rope match, he could easily throw himself in there with those
you have to look at the people that he would be defeating in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in this match minus Reed Jones is a former champion of some capacity.
You know, you look at, you know, me as a business, you know, trying to see what exciting and great matches these guys will put out. I look at it because I want to see what kind of awesome matches they're going to put on for not only themselves but the ECW universe. But you got to think that these guys might be looking at this as just the next title shot.
Absolutely.
You're the GM. You can go for that title.
Yeah, and you know, that's another interesting point. You haven't, other than seeing Kyle Parks put himself into a title match.
Absolutely, which shows 100% confidence in himself, and that's why once again I'm loving him.
I think a lot of people were very shocked that McGlasson didn't put himself into a title match. Sean Nice didn't give himself another title match.
Absolutely, you know, and maybe those guys got different plans. You know, Jeremy was one of the few people who didn't have to earn his, you know, Management Mayhem privilege. You know, I gave that to him for all the things that he felt he was wrong over the course of this past year, and the fact that he didn't put himself in that title match, I was pleasantly surprised actually.
The judge listened to this reaction for Ed Gucci.
Oh man, they eat this kid up. They eat him up.
You know,
and he is not slowing down.
He trains with, you know, the world famous Youngbloods down there in Louisiana.
You know, hey, I hate to call. You'll never hear the word me calling Ryan Azrael scared, but something's going on here.
But you have to wonder though, is Ryan Azrael ducking him? That's the question.
Man, you know, well, Ryan Azrael would obviously say no, but. Yeah, you know,
obviously,
from Ed Gucci's standpoint, absolutely.
There's no respect there between them.
Oh, no.
You know, I mean, Ed Gucci, he's got a victory over Thomas Benjamin and now BTB. You know,
both brothers, yes.
You know, and he had a shot when Kyle Parks was the GM. It was a surprise announcement that he ended up facing BTV and Aster for the Intercontinental Championship that night.
Man, what a match that one was.
Very close to winning that match. BTV got lucky, if I say so myself.
Yes.
You know, so I gotta say he's definitely a favorite. You know, obviously I think maybe people are waiting for you to step in and make it official between him and Azrael.
You know,
it's not happened yet, but we'll see payback.
You know, we'll see what happens. You know, what I have to say right now is an open challenge is an open challenge, and you know, you would always like to see an open challenge answered and received and accepted by the first challenger, but for some reason, you know, Ryan Azrael has made it a point to, you know, look past Ed Gucci so far.
Well, he said it at the top of the year, and I think it became his mentality towards Ed Gucci. He just doesn't think Ed Gucci is on his level.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Ed Gucci's a new kid on the block. Ryan Azrael has, you know, been around since day one.
Yeah.
He's been, you know, he was at Payback last year.
Yeah.
He fought Shawn Nice at Payback last year. I mean, you know, definitely there's definitely something, you know, there, and that's how Ryan Azrael feels about a lot of people, I would, you know, assume safely.
Absolutely, you know. And you either love it or hate it about him. Most people obviously hate it, but you know, Ryan Azrael does Ryan Azrael, and he shows. I mean, for me to see Ryan Azrael, what Aster just tried to do with Jimmy John after that match, you know, I think me, as long as everybody else in the ECW universe, would be blown away.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, he's in there to punish people.
And that's what he does best, is punish people. You know. You know, I've seen you and Ryan Jones take quite a beating from him every once in a while. You know, when he's in one of those moods.
Hey, and I take nothing away from Ryan Azrael. I respect Ryan Azrael, and you know, he might not respect me, and that's fine. You know, I don't take anything away from him for it. A man can dish out a hell of a lot.
Hey,
and he can take it too.
And he's one of the few people. You know, actually, I wouldn't say few people. He's one of the only two people this year so far who have defeated Kyle Parks. Now, he did not pin him or submit him, but he defeated him in that steel cage match on Raw.
And that's saying something because, you know, Kyle Parks has been put in a lot of tough situations here over the course of this year so far, and you know, he's risen to the challenge every time. And like I said, I just have nothing but great things to say about him so far, and it's going to take a tough son of a bitch to finally take him out.
I think so. Do you think that Mike Giacchino is the rightful #1 contender as he claims to be?
You know, I don't. That's a tough one. Obviously, Mike thinks he is, and you know, things happen, as you know, but things always happen. Something, you know, and not that I'm trying to avoid the question or duck the question, but I think Mike was out, and I think he maybe should earn his way back to the top as anybody else probably would expect to. You know, you just don't come back and you go right for the title.
Well, he definitely has said it himself, and he feels that he still has that title rematch in his claws that he has never gotten. So that's the burning question here, you know, the $1 million question.
Yes, and I think we'll get a good answer and a good idea when, you know, this payback matches get announced. And like I said, I'm excited to announce them, but I gotta hold off and keep the drive to one of them, you know, the intensity and everything alive.
There we see the returning Mizasa Hojo made his way after this one. That was
just a scary man, you know.
That was a shocking return at Extreme Rules when he attacked Shawn Nice.
You know, you gotta think that Shawn Nice, you know, any normal person, a little less driven, probably would have, you know, been done for a while. But you know, Shawn Nice got beating and took the beating, and you know, and he's back and he's not missing a beat.
You know, I'm very curious to see what happens between Shawn Nice and Mizasa Hojo in there. But being advertised the third and final encounter here on pay-per-view.
You know, and it's an odd rivalry in my personal opinion, because when you just look at the differences between the two, and you just put them together on paper, and there's just, you wonder why these two ever have beats to begin with. But you know, Shawn Nice is vocal and Mizasa Hojo is just crazy, and maybe that's all you need sometimes.
And you know, it all stems back to when Hojo became the #1 contender for Shawn Nice's title. And here we go. Whoa!
Already. Oh, what a big one that would be for Reed to get Ryan Azrael out already. And these men are coming out with shots. They're,
and the friends here, Aether and Gucci, are going at it as well.
You know, these guys are hungry, and I think, if nothing else, I like to think these guys said before the match, you know, hey, we're competitors. You know, we're friends, but we're competitors first. And this is, like I said, this is a big shot. You're talking about, I mean, hell, if these men wanted to, like I said, GMs give them full control. They could book themselves for hardcore, intercontinental.
And Gucci eliminated there by Aether.
Oh, man.
And look at this. Azrael has AJ Hawkx on the other side. Reed Jones just got out of a sticky situation there. He's about to be thrown out by AJ and Hojo. You know, Gucci doesn't look happy. Oh, there was AJ. This match is already picking up.
Woo! You know, this is two big eliminations that you wouldn't have thought. I mean, obviously someone had to go first and someone had to go second, but if you had ever thought anyone would ever said AJ Hawkx go second, you know, first three.
Reed is really trying to get Hojo out of this thing now.
And, you know, there goes...
Wait a second.
Look at this. You know, this is something that you wouldn't normally see in anything else. Reed and Azrael. Well, Azrael working with anybody.
Really, absolutely.
But I think you gotta believe that he sees somewhat of a threat in Mizasa Hojo. I mean, if there's anyone who can put Ryan Azrael out, it is that beast.
Well, in the ring right now, what we're looking at, Mizasa Hojo is definitely the only person who could physically lift Ryan Azrael, and vice versa. You know, I think it would take Aether and Reed to throw either of these guys out.
Big neck breaker there by Azrael.
I think they're just going to fight here for a little bit.
I think they are too.
You know, I realize that they're the only four left. They've got time. It's time to work and wear the other men down.
Look at this. Look at this power. Look at this power here.
Oh,
man.
We've seen this in their match on Raw last night.
Oh. Not too many people can say they can throw around Ryan Azrael like
Absolutely not. You know, Detroit calls him the strongest man in ECW for a reason.
And Aether escaping an elimination, and Reed whips him right back out. You know, these guys are hungry, and that's what Management Mayhem Month is all about. It's taking your shot, picking your spot, you know, making things happen for yourself.
Absolutely. You know, in this business, there is definitely several definitions to the word boss. You know, it's more than just you being the boss, Judge. You know, people who are champions, you know, they're calling their own shots. They're making their own moves. People who want to... Oh, look at Reed.
There goes Reed.
That's 2 eliminations for Aether now. Wow. And Hojo is wearing down the hardcore champion here. You think he's still upset about what happened on Raw?
Smart stuff by Aether there for a second to, you know, let himself rest up a little bit while these guys go at it. But he throws himself right back in the mix.
Oh, my.
And look at this. Would you ever think you would see Mizasa Hojo on Aether Atomsk?
Absolutely not.
Any situation. This is what it's all about right here.
And, oh, wait. Oh, nice explosive counter there.
He just shoves them all. I mean, this guy's a monster.
Oh, and there's those speed and finesse there from Aether.
You know, I always love it when these bigger guys and these smaller guys go at it, because, you know, it really makes you change up your game, especially for the smaller guys.
Oh, wait a second, Judge.
And here it is. Oh, man.
We've seen so many people take this move. Oh!
And I hate that for Aether.
Oh, wow. That's going to be a difference maker. Oh!
And they're just a big... And now they have teamed up.
That's the predicament of the Battle Royal.
Absolutely. And that's why I love it, and that's why I love these little Battle Royals. For one, you have awesome team-ups like this, and it even though it's so far away, still it gets you excited for, you know, the big Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
Absolutely. You know? You've got to wonder what we're going to see this year at the Royal Rumble.
Man, I can only imagine at this point.
Oh my God! Look at the power of Ryan Azrael. Wow.
And I can't imagine anybody doing that to Mizasa Hojo other than Ryan Azrael.
This Aether's going to try to maybe take Hojo out here. No, wait. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Threw him into Mizasa, and Mizasa didn't even feel it, I don't think.
And like, oh, what a backbreaker that was.
You know, you got to think, these guys are just toying with Aether in here. And you got to think what he's going to do to try to get himself out.
Azrael's talking some trash over here.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything else from him. And like I said, that's one of the reasons I love him, because he talks it and he can usually back it up.
Using his head. Oh, wow. My God.
And he whips right around with the kick.
Aether now. Oh.
Oh. And man, no quitting this kid right here.
Wow.
No quit. You know, he's got to be considered the underdog now.
Absolutely. And he just took that package pile driver from Ryan Azrael. Wait a second.
Uh-oh, this could be it.
Oh!
And, oh, he hangs on.
Well, no. Hojo. Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Oh, and there
Oh.
he goes. Oh, man.
Like, Hojo's just taunting him. Oh, no.
And, you know,
But he got caught.
Battle
Wait.
Royal match, you got to pay attention here. You can't be taunting your opponent while you still got someone else in. That is a rookie mistake.
Look at this, Judge. Look at this.
The power.
Look at
Oh,
the
my
trick.
God.
Oh! Woo! Wow.
So,
Wow.
usually you're the one asking questions, but now I'm asking you, what kind of matches do you think are Monday night GM?
I can't get over this power bomb. He just power bombed a 7-foot, 300-pound man over the top rope.
He is the Leviathan for a reason, and like I said, you either love him or hate him, and most people hate his guts, but you have to respect
Love him or
what he
hate
can do
him,
in the ring.
this crowd is giving him a standing ovation for that. Wow.
You have to respect what he can do in the ring.
Raw, you talk about Raw, you know, all I can say is Raw is going to be hardcore.
Absolutely.
And
I wasn't expecting anything less from a hardcore champion.
and I have to say, I am fearful for Ed Gucci. What's going to happen? So, Judge, I'm hearing reports that Mike Giacchino is the GM for this coming SmackDown.
He is the GM for this coming SmackDown, and like I said, most people had to have earned their spots to to be the GM, but certain situations have come up, and I like to be fair. And Mike's been out for a while, and Mike feels that he's been wronged. So maybe this is a way to get some stress out, and maybe he can, maybe put a little destiny in his own hands. If he feels wrong and he wants to make something happen, then he should make it happen.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, there you hear from the Judge. Mike Giacchino hosting this next SmackDown. Ryan Azrael hosting the next Raw. That leaves us with another main event and SmackDown before Payback. More Payback announcements coming next week. Don't go anywhere. Thank you all for tuning into the ECW Network tonight. This is Brian Cole for the Judge.
Hey, it's been a pleasure, guys. I love doing it. I hope to get back soon.
And we'll see you guys next time here on the ECW Network. Have a great night.